cannot imagine what it would be like if on the news, on Radio 4 or whatever it was, it said, okay, people living in Brighton Hove, you've got 48 hours to leave. I've got no idea what that would be like. The vast, vast majority of people are not going to leave their home for no good reason. And to see Amal, you know, actually this huge puppet being walked along the beach and then stopping and then talking to people. Some children going, no, I don't want to see it, it's too scary. And other children going, oh, what's that? And I think in some ways that's actually what reactions people have had to the small boats. Some people have gone, that's too scary to look at, because that actually could be me in that boat. And other people going, we need to look after those people in that boat. So I think the children's reaction was actually saying what a lot of people's reaction is to the small boats.
Oh dear child, come to me. You will never fall.
When it was announced that the government was looking for homes to house Ukrainian people, some people just went, yes, of course. And if faith is about anything, it's about helping people to feel safe.
In Brighton Hove, we're a city of sanctuary, and we're immensely proud of that. And I think, and I would hope, that long-standing friendships will be forged between the Brighton people and the people of Ukraine.
An interfaith vigil was held here on the 6th of March 2022, soon after the invasion of Ukraine. Now, a year later, many Ukrainian friends have arrived in Brighton and Hove and are sharing our homes.
We had so nice host family with Charlotte and Jonathan, and we also feel like part of family. They share with us everything, like from plate, fork, spoon to like bathroom. We had homework, yes, and like it's so really helped us to continue our life, like, and try to live normal life. Thank you so much for this, really.
We were very, very shocked and upset by what we saw happening in the Ukraine, and we felt that if we have the space and the time to help some of these desperate people who we could see desperately trying to get out of the country to be safe, then that was something that we ought to do. And we were fortunate enough to have two of the most delightful people you could possibly wish to meet, Olga and Tanya, coming through our front door.
I never thought to live in England because it's too far away from my country, but it happened. And when we came to Jonathan's and Charlotte's home, I told, this is my British father and mother.
I think it has demonstrated the truth to me that somebody you've never met before, you know nothing really about, can come into your home, and within a very short time, maybe just a few days, you can discover that you actually love them, really love them, and that they really love you. I mean, that is an amazing thing. And if you had told me this could happen, I would have said, well, I don't think so, you know. You're looking at things a little bit, you know, through fuzzy rose-coloured glasses. No, you would never get that close to somebody in that time. But actually, we did, we have, and that it's been very, very good for us to just discover that, find that out for ourselves. Because how else will you find it out? At Christmas, Olga said, we want to spend the whole day in your home because this is a family time and you're our family, so we want to stay with you. And Olga had gone round all the sort of haberdashery shops, picking up nice bits of fabric and various other bits and pieces. she needed to make these traditional Ukrainian dolls, which are a blessing on a home for the coming year.
Women made these dolls for defend their houses from different bad people, bad energies, enemies, and illness. This doll is made without needle. There are some rules. For example, you have to be in good mood.
So Olga showed us how to make these dolls, and now we've got them on our dining room mantelpiece, one on each side, and I will never ever take those dolls off that mantelpiece. They're very, very special dolls.
But that shows the culture difference. I mean, they make these dolls in Ukraine because their country has been the centre of a lot of violence, a lot of invasions from the left and the right and the north and the south. So they needed to protect their country, their homes. We've been isolated on our little island, but they haven't been in that situation.
Charlotte has been a member of the IFCG for a number of years because she has a concern and a desire to know about the faith and practices of other people. So it's driven by a sense of, this is what we're called to do. We're called to be community. We're called to be in relationship with each other. And without that call, you just end up with a bunch of individuals who feel incredibly entitled. One of the threads that goes throughout our year is the Friendship Hour, which we meet once a month in a different faith community setting and hear about their faith, their practices, what's concerning them, what's going on for them at the moment, an opportunity to listen and an opportunity to ask questions. So this is interfaith, this is each community listening and hearing, to each other. And so it's natural that when something happens in a part of the world or to a community, it's natural to want to actually come together to show solidarity with the people of that country or with the people of that faith community. But we also need to recognise that our daily lives are going on. So birth and death are all part of our daily lives, and you can't have one without the other. And so National Dying Matters Week gives us the ideal opportunity of inviting and welcoming, the faith communities as well as the wider community in health and social care to come along and to share each other's views, practices, to network, and again, to make contact with each other. It's like looking at community and seeing it like a diamond. You look through a different face of the diamond and see something else, but without all the different faces, it's not a diamond.
One of the key things that we realise that seems to unite people is sports. And a large part of our work is with a lot of young refugees. And especially when it comes to football, because football is something that unites everybody. It's a cult in itself.
We provide these safe spaces for refugees, people to attend, and we learn how to serve our neighbourhoods, and hopefully by beginning to serve our friends and family in our neighbourhood, that will grow to reaching communities, eventually reaching countries, and then hopefully reaching the whole world.
The accommodation within these hotels, despite what the press may tend to imply, is very basic, not to say unhygienic, mouldy, and pestilential.
My name's Helen Ledger and I'm part of Brighton Quaker Sanctuary Group, and we decided that we would like to get involved with supporting the asylum seekers who'd been moved into hotels in Brighton. We came up with the idea of cooking sessions because the food at the hotels is very poor, so that people could come and cook food from their own countries. People have some independence in being able to go and shop and choose their own ingredients, and different weeks, different people from different cultures and countries cook their own food, and everyone shares together and eats together.
En Honduras, tortillas. En Colombia, arepas.
Are you alone or your family?
Family, Hidro y Luton. Two grandotas y two daughters.
And then people just generally want to chat, to ask advice, say, can you help me? And we're only volunteers, so what we have done is find out who we can signpost people to, like Voices in Exile and Refugee Radio and Network of International Women who do amazing work. Everything is provided through volunteer groups. And I think it just shows what can be done, but I also think it shows exactly what the government is not doing. I mean, they have an active policy of making things as unpleasant as possible. So in the House of Lords, when the Archbishop of Canterbury very much spoke out against things, it wasn't really taken on board in any way, in the way that perhaps in the past it would have been. And he, along with other faith leaders, all spoke out against, for example, the idea of sending people to Rwanda or the new immigration bill.
Is to rip up her illegal and immoral.
If I were speaking to Rishi Sunak, as I do as often as I can, I would absolutely say to him that if you've got an asylum seeker who's been here for several years, as we keep having, because there is such a backlog, that means that they are practically surviving on nothing, you know, for months and months and months. People should be allowed to work. We're crying out for people in the health service, people in the hospitality service, people working in farming. We want more workers, and there are good people here who would love to be able to contribute to our society, and yet we're stopping them from doing it.
My name is Mateo San Clemente.
Where are you from?
Colombia.
How long have you been here?
In Brighton, 2 months, but in UK, 6 months.
Mateo, what do you like about Brighton?
In Brighton, yeah, I like that it's relaxing, it's beautiful. I like the food. I don't know, the girls is beautiful. The sea.
The football?
The football, obviously, is in England, in UK, the football is best. One day I want to play with Brighton Albion.
Usually, if it's 2 people, I think you go together, a husband and wife. But if you would like me to come with you up to London, show you where to go, I can do that for you. Yeah? Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Our faith tells us this is what we need to do. And so we will open our homes and we will open our hearts, because that's what our faith tells us to do. And we forget the power of invitation and the power of welcome. And in Advices and Queries in the Quaker booklet, it says, do you respect the life journeys of other people? And will you honour that, without judgment? And that for me is at the heart of faith.